Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They're committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. Property damage claims to your home, business, or condo as a result of a hurricane. Welton Rayom can help. Water, mold, fire, smoke damage, Welton Rayom can help. Call 954-966-4646.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
We are live, WrestleMania Saturday, Stand and Deliver in the books. I thought it was an excellent pay-per-view. I am joined, as always, by the man. Please allow me and help me in acknowledging him, Mr. Frankie Fresco.
Oh, thank you, sir. I appreciate the acknowledgement. I felt like I needed to be acknowledged, especially after just watching a couple minutes ago the replay of the induction of course, Heyman. So that's why I had to put it. I just finished watching his portion of it.
Let me tell you something. There's somebody else you got to acknowledge too, by the way.
Yeah, he did.
Trapio in the building, sir. How are we doing today?
Hello, gentlemen. Hello.
He's at WrestleMania. That's 27 or 28, right?
Correct.
That's pro player, right?
That was WrestleMania. That was WrestleMania 28.
Yep, I was there. So were you guys there?
Of course we were there, sir.
Yeah, I was up in the upper deck though.
So we were too.
Yeah,
at that time we weren't we didn't have enough to go down to the lower section, so we had to make our way all the way to the top. But
I was happy to be able to park and get into the show. That's what I do. That's the way I roll. All right. So night one, we're going right up to 5 o'clock. We're taking you up to when WWE, their new game day set, kicks off tonight. I really am interested to see how that works out in front of a live crowd. Real quick, your thoughts just in general so far of the hype that it has been WrestleMania weekend so far, starting with, you've got WWE World started Thursday. Then they had McAfee there Friday. A whole lot of stuff comes out this week, of course. We talked about it on Square Circle Digest and things like that. So far, the hype for WrestleMania. We'll start with you, DiTrapio. So far, the hype for it.
When it comes to the hype right now, it's been insane. This isn't something that has been done in a couple of months. This is years of hard work, years of character development, and so I'm excited. Everyone's excited. The city of Philadelphia is excited, and so let's see what happens, man. I'm excited. I like that there's just so much implications. Day one makes a difference for day two, and so it's good wrestling right now. Got to give kudos to Triple H and company. They know how to really draw a good crowd and a good storyline.
So you're a Paul Levesque guy.
Yes, sir.
All right, Frankie Fresco, what you got?
Well, first, before we talk about this, I just want to say I just noticed this. I kind of can relate with both of you guys because I'm relating with Sean when it comes to no hair, and I'm relating to DiTrapio when it comes to the
Class,
last. So
yeah, yeah.
see how much I realize I do all these things. That's why you gotta sometimes
That's why we
acknowledge.
acknowledge you. That's why we acknowledge you.
There you go. But talking about leading up to this, I mean, like DiTrapio said, they've done all this legwork to come to this, the Super Bowl of wrestling for all us wrestling fans. And then what they've done, man, like the way that they've been pushing, Monday Night Raw. Then they had the Ariel Helwani show this past week. You had everybody out there. You had Rhea Ripley, CM Punk, Cody Rhodes was out there as well. Then you had the Tonight Show as well, where Roman and The Rock were there. Last night with SmackDown, the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
This morning with
Stand and
NXT Stand and Deliver. Like, dude, like they're giving us what typically AEW, I know I don't want to bring up, but typically what AEW gives us on a random Saturday when they have a pay-per-view, a whole bunch of wrestling, but we don't get this from the WWE world on a daily basis. So that's why it's so magical. And I mean, they nailed it on the park, man. There's so many wrinkles to all of these fights. I mean,
Yeah.
look what happened on Friday. We'll talk about that. So overall, man, they did a phenomenal job. Even the Hall of Fame induction was really good. As I said, I was watching that right before I got on, and it was it's really good, man. I'm excited. I'm happy. I can't wait to see what happens, and I can't wait to see what comes about for day 2 as well.
Yeah, no, I agree with both of you. And a lot of things were said. And what I thought was funny was every time anybody from WWE says something, it's like they're going after AEW. And anytime somebody in AEW says something, it's like they're going after WWE. Like people try to turn it that way. But something Triple H said, and you kind of just said it about WWE doesn't really go this all out except for, your WrestleMania weekends, maybe your SummerSlams, depending what they're doing, Survivor Series. They make it mean something. And he was in an interview and he was asked about blood. And he's like, look, you can use blood and this and that all, at certain times. If you use it all the time, it becomes useless. It's like if you go watch a movie and they shoot somebody twice, you're like, oh, okay, all right. But if every scene is just blasting machine guns, you start going, all right. And that's kind of what you get with WWE. And also, and not to throw any at AEW or anything else like that, WWE's been doing this for a long time, the blueprint, but just the production of stuff just looks different, man. When you watch the WWE product, especially when it comes to WrestleMania, the stages they put together, the camera, especially now with Kevin Dunn gone and the new camera guy and how they've been working a lot of this stuff, it just feels like a better, bigger feel when you get to WrestleMania. And let's just go ahead and jump right into it. The first match I want to talk about with you guys is, of course, the one we're going to spend probably the most time on. It is the tag team match. It is the Bloodline, The Rock and Roman Reigns taking on Seth Rollins, Cody. What we'll do is let's just throw a spitball for a couple minutes, our thoughts, and then we'll go around the room and get the predictions right after. So that way we're not all giving our prediction before the next one speaks. So we'll start with you, Frankie Fresco. I'll acknowledge you. And DJ Mimo, Cap for Life. Appreciate everybody that's already in the chat. Frankie Fresco, your thoughts on this match? You've got a couple minutes to go.
All right. Well, first and foremost, we know that we have The Rock, the final boss, the big boss, the guy who's holding it down. And then you got the tribal chief, both of them actually working together on this match. And then you got two guys that have been getting beat up quite a while in the last couple of weeks, Seth and Cody. Now, I could go ahead and say, hey, look, I think I'm leaning more towards The Rock and the tribal chief. But the only thing I'm curious about is, can WWE go ahead and make a tough call and have them lose back to back? Have Roman Reigns, after holding the belt for so long and not getting defeated, be able to lose back to back nights? If he loses tonight and then he loses again tomorrow, does that kind of tarnish everything that they've been kind of selling to us this whole time? Like, hey, like this guy's unstoppable. This guy always wins. That is where I feel, I don't know what to think. That's why I'm 50-50 with tonight's match. So And then you got Cody and the Cody Crybabies and all these people that are still, I don't know if you guys saw the little girl who was taking shots at The Rock and all this love like for Cody. And believe me, guys, I'm an AEW guy. So I was thrilled when I saw Cody come back to WWE. But now it's kind of like rubbed me the wrong way. I'm not a Cody Crybaby. So right now, if I have to tell you who I think is gonna win, I'll let you know in a couple minutes.
Yeah,
But I don't know. I'm not. My choice. I'm gonna spitball it and tell you it's gonna be 50-50. I don't know. I'm kind of just making that decision right now on the show. I'm just gonna let you guys know.
There's 2 matches I'm doing that for. This one and the Gunther one. They're the only 2. I'll tell you right now. I've got all my notes and all my picks. Those 2 are open because I still don't know what to go with either one of those. Go ahead, DiTrapio. Your thoughts on the Bloodline against Cody and Seth?
I think right now there's just so much going on. There's great build up. Do I see Roman losing back-to-back matches? Not really. But I do feel like they're gonna make it tough for Cody, and that whole stipulation match and stuff like that. I think it's just gonna continue making the character development, the story development of Cody going through obstacle over obstacle for him to, finish the story for all the Cody crybabies out there. And so I'm just excited to see The Rock fight again. I haven't seen The Rock fight in a really long time. And having to see Seth and having to see The Rock and Roman kind of like have that chemistry and kind of work tag team, that's something that I've never seen before. And I've been watching wrestling for a really long time. So, and then the same thing with Seth and Cody. I think there's something weird because, Seth has some sort of connection with Roman with the Shield, and then Cody kind of doesn't really get along with Seth. Like they're just there just to like really, I don't want to say they're like fake to each other, but
That's the enemy. My enemy is my friend.
Exactly. And so you never know what might happen in this match. You never might know. And so for now, I don't want to give my predictions, but for the meantime, I'm just excited, bro. And I'm with you, Sean. That Gunther and Sami Zayn fight.
Yeah, I mean, because I keep talking myself in and out of it, and I do the same with this match. And like, I'm gonna read my notes for this match, and you'll see how I like talk myself. You'll be going like, "Oh, I see where he's heading," and then you'll be like, "Oh, wait a minute, maybe not." It's like because here's what I put. I put the odds have for this story to finish and unfold for Sunday. The odds got to be stacked against Cody on Sunday. You would think.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So then that way, I think that Roman and Rock win.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But then I go, Cody and Seth have been laid out for weeks by these guys.
Mm-hmm.
They've got to get some kind of payback in this match because this is the only match The Rock's got for WrestleMania weekend. Cody can still go after Roman on Sunday, but this is the only match where they'll get a hold of The Rock, per se. Then how much damage is going to be done to Seth, Cody, and Roman going to Sunday from this match? Because again, this I have a feeling there's not going to be a lot of in-ring stuff. I think a lot of it's going to spill out of the ring. You're going to get a lot of I believe a lot of maybe some appearances by some of the small, maybe they're just at ringside and they grab somebody or something like that. I just think there's going to be a lot of play in this match because as you say, Frankie, you can't really have Roman lose both days. And if he does, it's got to be a big-ass kind of swerve or something going on to where it ends up not hurting, like you said, the build they've had him for over 3 years now.
Yep.
And then the other thing is, that I put here was when you look at this match, the winning team, who do they pin? Because you're pinning The Rock, I'm guessing, for Rock and Roman, because if one of them pinned Roman,
hurts Sunday.
What happened goes to Sunday. Or that goes to go like, oh well, he beat him last night, he can do it again on Sunday. That's where I'm kind of like in the middle of it, because as you say, they can go and say, Cody's got no chance on Sunday because The Rock and Roman, it's going to be bloodline rules. They're going to be everywhere. The odds are stacked against Cody and Philly. Or they could go and say, Cody just beat him last night. Why can't he do it again to finish the story tonight? And then they fold it on you and Cody doesn't win.
Mm-hmm.
So like with this match, it's just so. And then also the other thing I put down was if Seth and Cody lose, Cody has to be the one taking the pin. If you're going to build the odds against them for Sunday, he's got to be the one getting pinned because now it looks like there's no chance. He just got pinned last night by Roman. How's he going to beat him by himself on Sunday?
Let me ask you something now that I'm thinking about it. We're both agreed that it's kind of hard to see Roman lose back to back, right? So let's say, for example,
again, I go with this, and somebody said it last night. And sometimes I wish I don't go on X most of the time on this because half the guys this guy's got I think 45 followers. That's it. But he threw some out there and he was like, I'm listening to The Rock talk to Cody, and I listened to what Cody said the other day, where Cody says, when one story ends, a better story begins.
Did say that.
And then Rock last night looks at Cody and says, it's not business, it's personal. And I'm starting looking at him, I'm like, I still feel like there's going to be a swerve because at some point it's going to be Rock against Roman. That's what this is all about, to get to Rock versus Roman at some point. The Rock is leaving after WrestleMania to go film a movie. How long he's going to be gone for, whatever. Can he come on Mondays, whatever, Fridays, whatever? Remains to be seen. But do they pull the cord that quick? And then the other thing that we've always talked about is what's next for Cody?
Now, I have a question here. We spoke about Roman and how we feel like who knows what's going to happen with Roman. But check this out. Let's say, for example, Cody and Seth lose.
Mm-hmm.
I have more of a certainty that Seth is going to lose against Drew McIntyre. So that means one of these two guys might lose back-to-back fights in WrestleMania. Either it's going to be Roman or it's going to be Seth. One of the two, which I never thought of until now that I'm thinking. I'm like, man, we're putting so much focus on Roman. What about Seth? Because I honestly feel that Seth is not going to win tomorrow against Drew McIntyre.
That's why I think Cody gets pinned tonight somehow. If that's the route they go. I don't see Seth getting the pin. Could he get beat up pretty badly tonight and go until tomorrow damaged? 100%. But again, the whole story's always been Cody being the underdog, really. I mean, that's kind of, I know they've been playing it more for Sami lately, but that's always been the odds stacked against Cody finishing his story. And it's just like this one WrestleMania. I mean, and again, I picked winners in almost every one except for the two. But when I sat down and looked at every match, you could really, except for probably the Jade Cargill match, you could flip either way, and I would go, okay, makes sense. On every match on this card, it's the first time in wrestling where I'm like, okay, usually, okay, Stone Cold's coming back to take on KO. Yeah, Stone Cold's probably going to win this one. You know what I'm saying? So in this one, it's just, to me, it feels like, one, it's the biggest WrestleMania. They keep hyping that up. But two, it's one of the most unknown WrestleManias because The Rock really is an X factor in all this. Because, again, they read the room. They said, okay, Cody has to fight for the title. And Rock said, well, then I need to go heel to make it work. And it's worked. And it's put so much unknown into all of this because everyone thinks the final, build is really to get to Rock and Roman. But what if it's not?
No, it has to be, man.
I agree. I'm in that same boat. But what if we're all looking at this wrong to where they're not trying to get to that? You know what I'm saying? So then where does that put this whole thing at? Because as you say, if Roman loses both nights, depending on how they lose, you are hurting some of that, especially with, the odds so stacked into The Rock and Roman's favor.
Yeah. I mean, it's like you said, they could go either way. And then we also know that Roman's going to be out for a while, for a couple months, when he's going to take some time off, so we know that he's taking some time off. But I don't want to go ahead and insinuate, only because he's taking time off, that means he automatically is going to lose, because he's done that before, where he's actually taken time off after he's
worked it, where he's been.
Yeah.
I mean, again, everybody said, but the whole thing is like, and we said this before, is when he shows up, it's statement. It's game on. It's not like he's coming in and being like, oh, okay, I'm going to get paid today. No, it comes in and means something. Yeah. And you watch this build up, and I get it. He's kind of getting overshadowed, which to me is why I kind of, in a way now, and again, as we're talking this out, I feel like Roman taking the back seat ends up becoming the baby face in this, with The Rock as the heel.
Yeah.
That is where, I think what happens is, and then again, looking at Sunday, if you cheat Roman with The Rock can still stay heel. You can flip Roman because he was cheated by The Rock, the final boss.
Although I think Roman is better equipped as a heel than a babyface. Remember,
then maybe you do the Stone Cold with him, where his main goal is putting The Rock out, whereas Stone Cold was like, I want Vince. You know what I'm saying? Like you put the shades on him to where it's just, that's who I'm going after. That way the fans are baby and heel. I only say baby because The Rock would technically be the heel when you look at the matchup, is all I'm saying, as they go at each other.
Yeah. I mean, it's a flip of a coin.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't see, I just see Roman and Rock now really working out, especially with them having both like egos. One feels like he's the final boss, and the other one feels like he's been handling this title run for so many years now. And so, maybe The Rock is like, man, I lost because of you, Roman, and then I'm the final boss. I don't need partnership. Even though this is family, it can get personal, And so maybe, I just don't know. Would it make sense to squeeze in a Rock versus Roman in another WrestleMania, or would it be another pay-per-view event?
I mean, you definitely want to build to that if that's going to be the situation, and you can play it out, I guess, for a whole year. The Rock could just duck and be like, I'm not going to be there. Roman shows up, The Rock's not there. Rock shows up, Roman's not. They can play around for a while with, if they want to do something that way. And then the other unknown, and this just happened because, again, I always feel, and I understand the Hall of Fame is different, but I always feel like WWE is kind of laying groundwork at some point. And to me, for Paul Heyman yesterday to take the microphone, physically turn it the other way so he could look right at Cody and say, I wish your dad was here. And then at the end, he went and shook Triple H's hand and he bowed to Cody.
I saw that.
He bows to Cody, and I'm just like, and again, this is just, I always think, and I look at it, I'm going, could Cody, again, it's the same thing Roman did to conquer Brock.
But wait.
Okay, I joined forces with the wise man.
But Sean, he also went ahead and he also acknowledged the tribal chief, saying the best ever in this game. He said that.
Yes, and he also said the Brock Lesnar, the beast, the best beast ever. I mean, he said that about everybody that he's turned on. So it's just, again, I'm throwing it out there because look, Roman doesn't lose clean. That's all I'm saying. If Cody leaves WrestleMania with the title, there was some type of swerve, I believe, to Roman.
Well, Roman did say
groundwork for it. That's my feeling, because I just feel like you don't have Cody beat him with, even if you do 3 crossroads on him. No, it just that makes no sense to me, because you built this guy up for 1,300 days or whatever he's at now, and then have Cody just beat him because they win a tag team match and the bloodline can't be involved. So is Roman really that good?
I look, you guys mentioned that, supposedly the buildup eventually is supposed to be Roman versus The Rock, right?
That's the way it's always been looked at. Yes.
But what happens if Cody wins? Can Cody versus The Rock be a bigger draw than Roman versus The Rock?
No.
And you say no. I say yes, because look at how much attention these Cody fans are invested in this damn
They are,
story.
because there's a reason to be empathetic to Cody. Because
Correct.
he's chasing the title.
And
The Rock is the one keeping him from the title. Once he gets the title achieved, it changes, man, because now.
But I could use that same argument with Roman. What happens if Cody wins and then Roman doesn't have a belt anymore? Will that same fight between him and The Rock?
Well, then you got the bloodline angle, though. The tribal chief, the final boss, the blood. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's more there. I mean, they have created a little bit of a story between Cody and Rock. But the thing that I look at it, and this is the only reason I say the bigger one is Roman and Rock, is because, to me, the only way that becomes a big selling match is if you honestly believe The Rock will become the heavyweight champion. Because other than that, then you know Cody's winning. You think you know Cody's winning. Why are you going to buy into it?
Yeah, no. If you're going to have Cody and The Rock at one point in time, Cody has to have the belt. And then it would have to be him defending the belt against The Rock. Because now you could still sell it by saying, hey, look, I beat the tribal chief. But you haven't beaten the final boss. So, there's still room for that. But Cody does need to be a champion. And I do feel that if Cody was to win, he would hold on to the belt. Not maybe as long as Roman, but he would hold on to it.
And then we also talked about another thing that came up in another, when you listen to all these, like the dirt sheets and things, was the whole now conspiracy theory with Triple H. Does Triple H turn on Cody? And now that becomes Cody's next thing. Because now, again, the same feeling I feel about Roman not losing clean. If Cody loses, you can't have him lose clean either. Like, Roman can't just spear him and 1, 2, 3.
I don't know, man. I have the feeling that Cody can beat Roman clean one-on-one. Now, it's going to take a lot. It would have to be something extravagant in order for them to be able to sell it. But I have the feeling that if they win tonight and it's a clean match for tomorrow night, I think Cody beating Roman one-on-one is fine. I don't think, as long as they're able to sell it and they're able to go ahead and say, hey, like more than Crossroads, I don't know, maybe he gets on a table or two tables or something and does a Crossroads or something.
See what happens, because if they hurt Roman tonight, they take out Roman's knee tonight. That's their objective. Now Cody's got a one-legged fighter. That becomes a little bit different. So, all right, we got one more person joining us here real quick, and then we're going to give our picks right now. Chad's going to join us, and it will be their pick. Oh my goodness! What happened there?
What's going on, Chad? It sounds like somebody's barking back there.
It sounds like a dog or something.
Yeah, it's my daughter. She's right next to me. She's trying to get into the action. I mean, all
right, we're gonna go. We're gonna go.
House full of kids.
We're picking the main event right now. All right, we're picking the main event right now. So we're gonna go. We'll start with the Trapio. Then we'll go Chad, acknowledge the guy up there, Frankie Fresco, and then I'll go last. Your pick winning the main event tonight is
Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins.
It's gonna be it's gonna be. I think it's Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins too, for the sake of the show for tomorrow.
Right, all right, 2-0. Go ahead, Frankie.
I got The Rock and Roman winning. I think it has to be entertaining Sunday. Only way you can make it entertaining is Bloodline rules. Then you involve everybody. So, Rock.
Well, that was another conspiracy theory too, by the way. Because it says Bloodline rules is the Bloodline can interfere. It doesn't say anybody else can interfere.
Bringing Dusty in, pulling Dusty out there, bro.
It's the other thing too, is like, because Dusty's old finish was him almost beating Flair, and then the Horsemen always got involved, and that was Dusty making the Dusty finishes. And I just feel like it continues. I'm gonna go Rock and Roman tonight.
All right,
I'm going Rock and Roman.
2-2.
I mean, Roman. Last time Roman lost, it was in a tag team match. So we'll see.
It was Jey Uso. Yeah,
that is true. Yeah.
So, all right,
Chad,
let's go to the next.
Chad, is your daughter a Cody crybaby out there?
No, I guess so. She might be. I don't know. I mean, I can see why Roman and Rock would win for that, to, I guess, continue it with the Bloodline rules and stuff like that, right? But man, don't we all hope that It's just a surprise appearance by MJF to cost Cody the title, and then that's how MJF comes in.
Well,
Very good
Dustin
point.
liked the comment yesterday, and then Frankie, I thought of you when I saw it. They're like, Dustin, you got to help Cody out, and Dustin liked.
Why didn't he like when I tagged him? God damn it, Dustin.
Dustin doesn't like you. That's the problem.
He knows I've
Dustin
been
does not acknowledge you.
He knows I've been talking crap about AEW recently in the last.
That's why I
couple
don't
weeks.
like you. All right, WWE Women's World Championship. Rhea Ripley taking on Becky Lynch. We'll change it up since there's 4 of us now. We'll start with Chad. Give your talk about the match, and then give your pick. Then we'll go to Trapio, and then back up to Frankie, and I'll go last again.
I think it's gonna be okay. Thank you. Thank you for. I think it's gonna be an entertaining match, but I gotta go Ripley here. I think Ripley continues the reign terror, but I got Ripley here for sure.
All right. So Ripley, go ahead, Trapio.
Yeah, I don't see Rhea Ripley losing to Becky Lynch. It's been a good promo. I like how it's getting personal, but overall, Rhea's been a huge figure for the women's division, and so Rhea Ripley all day.
I hate to go ahead. I hate to go and not be different than you guys, but I agree. I don't see Becky Lynch winning this one, even though Becky's one of my favorite female wrestlers. I'm gonna go Rhea Ripley in this one.
Yeah, and then real quick, I want to throw out something real quick from the chat. DJ Mimo, can't forget Senor Money in the Bank. I believe Senor Money in the Bank will be more talked about tomorrow on night 2 than it will be tonight. That's just, you know what though?
Can Senor Money in the Bank go for Gunther? No, right?
No.
But what if they beat down Seth enough to where
That's another thing. Yeah,
after the main event, Senor Money in the Bank
I thought about that.
and then has to versus Drew McIntyre tomorrow. Seth's out on WrestleMania Sunday.
Wait. But do you think WWE would go ahead and put?
Doesn't matter. They sold 68,000 seats without anybody on the card.
Or would they be? Or would they maybe make it a triple threat instead? So then it'll be Seth.
They
Senor
could
Money
do
in
that.
Bank,
Seth
Andrew
gets
McIntyre.
his money back, his title back.
But I think that I honestly feel that's what's gonna happen next tomorrow.
It's gonna be a 4-way. It's gonna
Remember,
be
The Rock told him, "I can take your title like this."
It's gonna be a 4-way because CM Punk is gonna be in the mix. God damn it!
I didn't even think about tonight him cashing in. I thought the match tomorrow with them, and it's like, what if he does it tonight after they beat him down? Even if Cody and Seth win the match,
There it is, gentlemen.
they all jump on him, lay him out. Senor Money in the Bank comes running down, cashes it in.
Wow,
The last thing you see on night 1 of WrestleMania is not Roman, is not The Rock, but it's Damian Priest holding Seth Rollins' title over him.
That's not bad.
It's a possibility.
And Judgment Day continues their tear.
Well, they've got to pick up more steam now because they have just destroyed that like last night, they finally looked like a unit for the first time in a long time. Up until then, I was like, they're disbanding them. But we'll see. My pick, by the way, is Rhea Ripley. And the interesting thing is, because I read a couple other things, and I love conspiracy theories, but this one really got me thinking. Because if they are going to break up the Judgment Day, Rhea Ripley has got a huge fan base going right now. Everybody loves her.
100%.
What if they did the double switch? The Stone Cold Bret Hart during this match. Becky goes heel, Rhea Ripley turns face. During this match.
The only way I see that is if they completely dismantle.
No,
the
that's
and I don't think that's gonna happen.
After last night, I don't see that as much, but I had written it down up until the SmackDown last night, thinking that, with the way she's been getting the fans acknowledging her, not taking anything away from you, Frankie Fresco, but it's interesting because I feel like that's coming, son, at some point, man. At some point, that's going to happen.
Look, if there's somebody who's gonna take over my acknowledgement, I'll let Rhea Ripley take my acknowledgement any day of the week.
All right, let's go on. Gunther, Sami Zayn. Let's get it out of the way right now. Gunther, Sami Zayn, Philadelphia, Chad Gable, the greatest trainer in the world, has got the man running drills, and everything else. Frankie Fresco, we're starting with you this time.
Guys, I'm going to go with Gunther. I think he's able to pull it off. I think that they're going to go ahead, and I don't think Sami's going to beat him. I just feel some way, somehow, they'll make it into a 3-way eventually for another live event with Chad Gable involved. I think Gunther retains the belt.
Chad, go ahead.
I agree with Frankie. I think Gunther continues to hold the ice. I as great as it would be to see Sami Zayn win it, I guess in a sense, what do you do next? I'm pulling a Sean. What's next then for Sami Zayn, right? Like, I don't know. I think Gunther's heat is still running. You gotta keep going with it. I mean, I think eventually down the line where he should lose it to, and they should get some steam behind it, and it could be a dream scenario, maybe next WrestleMania or next big one. But man, give LA Knight a shot at the IC title. Let him, wear it. And kind of, you know what I mean? That might, put some gold on him and see what happens. But I could see someone like that possibly taking it from Gunther, but it's not Sami Zayn.
All right, Trapio, let's go.
I'm gonna go against you guys, man. I think Sami Zayn got enough to beat Gunther, man. I feel like there's always gonna be that huge twist that WrestleMania likes to throw in, and I think Sami Zayn's gonna be that guy. I really feel he's been in big spots with the Tribal Chief. He's been in big matches before, and I feel like Sami Zayn, even though we don't know what direction Sami would be going after being the Intercontinental Champion, but I think this is probably one of those matches where we're gonna be like, holy shit, this actually happened. And it helps Gunther kind of move on from the title. Yeah, we know he dominated the title, and so it would give him more freeway to move on to other championship belts, in my opinion.
DiTrapio, I agree with you. Sami Zayn wins the title tonight. He holds the title tomorrow at WrestleMania.
Writing
He
these
goes
down.
to Raw, and he loses it to Chad Gable because Chad Gable's going to say, I trained you. I allowed you to win the title. You owe me a match. And Sammy's going to be so beat up from wrestling Gunther, but he's a babyface, so he can't say no. So he takes the match. Chad Gable does his stuff. And then Chad Gable will be the Intercontinental Champion on Monday Night Raw. That's my story. And that's what I'm sticking to.
Hell yeah.
All right. Now we're getting to the hard matches. Jey Uso versus Jimmy Uso. Team Yeet, Team No Yeet.
Oh, Yeet.
What are we doing?
Oh, no, you ain't?
Chad?
I'm Team Yeet all day. I'm Team Yeet all day.
The daughter is too.
I'm Team Yeet all day. I want to say Jay wins, but I don't know why. My gut is telling me Jimmy wins, and it's gonna be some bloodline ass, interruption, just like kind of what Jimmy's gonna pull. It's gonna be some sort of heel move where Jimmy's gonna win, just like he's been kind of screwing Jay. Because if anyone should have gotten the IC title, it should have been Jay. That I was all about, and I think that should have been the push for the change. If you're going to change titles, should have been Jay. But nah, I think Jimmy wins. But I'm Team Yeet all day. I guess for this one, I'm expecting the worst, hoping for the best on this one, man.
All right. Trapio, what you got?
My heart is saying Team Yeet, man. I can't go on with Team Yeet. There's just so much fan base on him right now. Obviously, his brother has also a good fan base, but I'm Team Yeet all day. I can't go against him, man. I can't go against Team Yeet.
Frankie Fresco, who are you acknowledging, my friend?
I mean, what Chad said was 100%. I don't even know why in God's green earth Jay is not an IC champ by now, and they should have not done it on that Monday night like they did. But anyways, that's a different story. I am Team Yeet. I will go ahead and say Jay will win tonight.
Yeah, I think this match opens the show. I don't even know yet if they've already released, so I don't know, but I have a feeling this opens the show. You got Bloodline opening the show, Bloodline closing the show, or Judgment Day closing the show, depending on how you want to look at it. But yeah, I agree. I think there's too much momentum for Jey Uso to not win this. It's just, everything that I know about WWE and how everything goes tells me, and I know that there's always that chance where it's like they're going to throw the wrinkle in there, like Chad said, but I just feel like this one has been so much pushing Jay to that level that you stop it now to give Jimmy that push, because that, coming out of WrestleMania, and then you had Rikishi say at the end of the match he wants the brothers to reunite again and this and that. Does that happen? I don't know. But it's interesting, too, because Jay said he'd never be a part of the Bloodline as long as Roman's in charge. What happens if Roman loses this weekend? He may be no longer the tribal chief. Does he go back to the Bloodline, and could he be the one to cost Cody? A lot to be unfolded. So I got Jey Uso there. Let's go with an easy one here. Let's just get this one out of the way. Damage Control versus Jade Cargill versus Bianca Belair versus Naomi. I'm just going to go out and say on a limb here, we're all going Jade, Naomi, and Bianca.
Absolutely.
What?
Jade needs to get that WrestleMania win under her belt. I mean, I feel like they should be even pushing her even more, but absolutely, I think so.
The only thing I see different here is that I think this is going to be the match that opens up WrestleMania Day 1.
I don't think so.
I think it's because they want the firepower of Jade. It's like a really good match, but then it's not so low level, because the Rey Mysterio one was the only one that I thought that may be able, but I think Jade Cargill, and they haven't pushed it so much, so it's one of the lower
entrance. It's got to be dark. It's still going to be light to start the show.
That's fine, and that's why they have to go with a bang, but not too big of a bang, and that's why I say.
That's why I think Jimmy and Jay started. It's a bang, but not a bang. It's a bang without a bang.
Nah, you when Jay goes like this, we're all
rocket. It's a juiced up bottle rocket.
You put in that. Either way, we'll see. But yes,
I feel like you run the risk of Jay and Jimmy stealing the show if you put them at one. They might set the bar so high.
Not Jay, AEW, right? You put the best match first, so then everybody's like, hey!
not Jay.
We're gonna be elite here, buddy. We're gonna be elite.
Didn't you guys see on SmackDown that she was a little bit kind of hesitant on the microphone? She looked kind of like she was a little bit nervous. I don't know if you guys peeped that. I saw that when I was watching.
She's not used to being in front of a lot of people talking on the mic.
Oh,
I
didn't say that, Dustin. We still want you in WWE.
Mimo asked, "What push would they give Jimmy?" I don't think it's necessarily a push. I just think it's more of a. I don't know. That's why I say I think Jay wins, but I don't know that Jay gets that much more of a push by beating Jimmy. This match is just there because they wanted to work each other before that anything passed, and this is just a perfect opportunity because
and work each other at WrestleMania. To think about it as brothers, and I'm sure if my brother was here, they'd be like, "Yo, to work a match against each other at WrestleMania." That's like
it's the third one ever. It was Brett and Owen. It was Matt and Jeff, and now it's Jay and Jimmy.
I mean, I'm able to do the show with my brother. There you go. He's right there.
You know what? When we do a live show, we're gonna set up a ring. It's gonna be brother versus brother. First show that we do live at a venue. Let's do it, buddy. Let's do it. The other one that I want to get to real quick is Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee, who has now been replaced by Andrade, taking on Dirty Dom and Santos Escobar. Frankie, we'll start with you because I know you're the Dominic lover on here. So go ahead and tell us why Dirty Dom's winning.
The reason Dirty Dom is winning is because I honestly feel that Andrade El Idolo lied, and he is not going to be part of the LWO. I think that was a little sneaky move, and I think he's going to betray Rey Mysterio tonight. I think Andrade is probably going to be the one who actually laid out Dragon Lee and allowed him to be on it to be a conspiracy and have all three of them turn on Rey Mysterio. So I have Dom and Santos Escobar winning tonight.
The Drapio, who do you have, my friend?
Man, we gotta give it to Dom and Santos Escobar. Those two guys right now are in extreme Latino heat right now. And like my brother said, I think Andrade, he's gonna some way somehow ruin Rey Mysterio's chance to win. So for sure it's gonna be Dominic, and obviously it's Judgment Day. You know, you want to make sure that the Judgment Day member keeps on winning. You know.
Chad?
I agree with both of them. I think they got. I mean, I don't know. I guess I'm with Frankie knows this. I'm a Dom fan myself as well. I love what they're doing. I love what they're doing with bro.
I thought we were like this, Chad. Now I'm finding out it's
three Dom fans in this.
I'll say this. It just his ability to take the heat and just cause like to make heat. I don't know. And I like the way he moves and wrestles in the ring. I think overall when it comes to like, actually wrestling, the kid can wrestle, and he, one day when he makes that face turn, like it's coming, right? We'll see what he does with that. But I as I guess a connoisseur of wrestling, I'm just a fan of Dom and what he does. So, but I also think you got to keep the heat with Judgment Day, and what better way for Andrade to get some heat himself, right? Because he's a better heel, I think, than face as well. So that would be a way for him to turn. Of course, everyone's like, man, they did it to Ray again.
Yeah.
So now we got the Ray crybabies.
Well, remember that somebody went out. Rhea Ripley came out on her interview and she was like, "It's not about Ray, it's about Dom."
Right. She said Dom's twice the man that Michael Cole is. Which I don't know if that's easy, though, right?
That's easy, right? Yeah.
All right, right? I mean, Rey Mysterio can't lose at WrestleMania. Andrade making his return in Rey Mysterio's corner, and God, I hate to say this, I agree with you guys. Dom and Santos is winning this, but it's not because of Andrade. It's because of Carlitos.
Oh,
Carlitos is the one that's going to be the game changer. Remember, Dragon Lee's laid out. They're coming back. Carlito came running in like, "Hey, Ray, your partner's out." He's like, "I know. I already replaced him with Andrade." And Carlito was like, "Damn it, I missed my WrestleMania moment again." So I think Carlito is actually going to be the one that costs. And Andrade will stay and be the new probably leader of LWO is Zelina Vega. All right, so now we've got 30 minutes. We've got one match to go, and then we can talk about some other stuff and get in with the chat. But this match might take a little while to talk about because it is the six-pack tag team ladder match, which WWE, let me see if I can.
This has got to be the opening match, right?
WWE clarified that the match will continue until both sets of titles are retrieved from the suspension ring.
Oh.
So, depending on how you want to read that, we could be dividing the titles back up. The interesting thing also on this is Triple H said the draft is only a few weeks away. So, I ask you, who wants to go first? We'll let you raise hands on this one because I really don't want to stick somebody with it. The Trapio, you raise the hand. You go first. What you think is going to happen in the six-pack challenge tag team title ladder match?
Man, I can't. I really can't give you a good answer, bro. It's a toss-up. There's so many directions you can go with this. You can continue the reign of Judgment Day, or you can split it up. There's just too many things going on. And I mean, the common sense thing is to keep the titles, but what direction would you continue going with the tag team titles? And so I have no idea who's going to win this match, to be honest with you.
What's funny, I think me and Frankie are probably going to be like on the same wavelength, but go ahead, Frankie.
Okay, so look, check this out. So number one, I hope and I hope WWE doesn't make this mistake. I don't like Pete Dunne and I don't like Tyler Bates. I hope they don't win either title. I just don't like them. I think they're. I mean, no disrespect to them. I appreciate them as wrestlers.
So now let's get this right. Now, no Dustin on here, no New Catch Republic. Can we make any more enemies?
Yeah, I mean, it's just they're just not. They don't. I don't know. Something about them. They don't sell to me. That's why. Maybe they'll grow on me, but as of right now, no. I honestly do feel that they are going to split the titles. So now that you mentioned that rule, I'm going to say two teams are going to win this. Number one, the WWE has to make R-Truth a tag team champion. So I want to say R-Truth some way somehow finds a way to win one of those belts, and it makes just perfect sense to put R-Truth in the Miz. I don't think they'll keep the tag belts for a long time, but I still think they win it just because of the much like it's WrestleMania moment. How can you not give R-Truth a belt? I mean, he's earned it, bro. Like he's earned it. So I'm gonna say by accident, some way somehow he's clumsy enough and he wins a belt, and he actually takes one. I'm gonna say that the other belt, man, I don't know why I get the vibe, but I hope it doesn't happen, but I think it's gonna happen. I think it's time that we give the belts to Austin Theory and this guy and
Grayson Waller.
Grayson Waller. I think they're gonna go, especially since you have that Logan Paul situation there and all that stuff. I just feel like I don't think Finn and Damian are going to retain it. I think this is when they finally lose it. So that's why I don't see them winning anything. I actually see Damian probably getting a belt, but not the tag team belt. So that's why I'm taking it off them. So I'm going to say Austin and Grayson win one, and I'm going to say R-Truth and the Miz win the other, or R-Truth and Miz win both. It's either going to be, but I definitely feel R-Truth and Miz are going to win something.
Chat?
I agree with Frankie in the sense I feel like Miz and R-Truth, it's like perfect for them to win the titles here. It wouldn't be like a long run, but I also think it would be a fun run. Like they could have some fun times in the next couple weeks, you know, with those two with the titles, I think. So I guess the fan in me is going to say R-Truth and Miz for those guys. And then I feel like if you're going to drop, like I guess, you know, if Judgment Day is going to drop them, they got to drop both. I kind of agree with that. But I wouldn't be surprised if it's Ciampa or Gargano, because I feel like that's a team that even when the NXT had a lot, you know, good fan base around them, and I think that it's a different direction that they could go, and you know, it'd be different from what we've seen, you know, lately. And I think that would be, you know, I guess this is kind of just like, you know, I guess for me it would be like more like a fan thing, you know, to see them win it, but I think it would be a different route as well with the tag, you know, splitting it that way, having those guys and then Miz and R-Truth to set us into the next set of whatever this tag team division is going to be.
I don't mind that. The only thing I see different is that they're both would be in Monday night, so then one of them would have to jump their way to SmackDown. That's the only reason why I don't think I would see.
But the draft's coming.
True. But these next couple of shows, it would have to be them holding, I guess, one of them trying to make a way over to the SmackDown roster, but until the draft.
Yeah. Well, this is what I had. And again, it kind of throws me off because of what I just said earlier about Damian Priest. I had Judgment Day getting the SmackDown titles and Awesome Truth winning the Raw titles. And Awesome Truth getting the titles, and me and Frank have talked about it before, where it could be so dumb where, you know, maybe Damian Priest and them pull both titles, they drop the one down and it falls into R-Truth's lap.
That would be so good.
Bottom of the ladder, and they're like, "Hey, you got that title there. There you go. It's over." Something like that. I can see something like that happening. It's just the one thing that interests me in this whole match is that, again, you talked about DIY, Gargano and Ciampa. Ciampa maybe not as much as Gargano, and then when you throw New Day in there with ladders, what are we going to get? You know, using the ladders as weapons. We watched, I mean, you know, I know he's no longer with the company, but Shelton Benjamin was in one of these ladder matches, and he ran across the whole thing and up the ladder and then did the somersault over the top rope. Like, it's to me, it's going to be more about those kind of moves. And now that you said something, this might be the match that opens the show.
100%.
Yeah.
Because then the ladders are already at ringside for the match. Because again, all you'll have to set up everything is whatever the lead up to the match is going to be. So this might be, this actually might be the opening of the show, because I don't know where you're going to have time to throw all these ladders in there and everything else. And then you want the ladders also, when they're done, to be removed out of the way. So, but I think I'm thinking Awesome Truth, and I was thinking Judgment Day, but again, that was before I thought about Damian Priest kind of cashing in. So I'm going to stick with them, but now I'm more against that than I was before.
So you have what, 1-1?
Yeah, I got Judgment Day leaving with SmackDown, the blue belts, and Awesome Truth
But
leaving with the.
If you don't want to choose Judgment Day, who would it be then? The one that you're like, now you're thinking
I don't know,
about.
because honestly, the only reason I took Awesome Truth there is because when I look at the tag teams in that match, every one of them would be a project. I mean, New Day's not. I don't think is going to win it. They're in there for the name recognition and a chance to be at at WrestleMania. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't see them. You know, now again, I if Big E comes out and is one of the people in New Day, then I'll switch it. I'll switch it. If that happens, then again. But I've heard nothing about any change in his recovery. So I don't know that. But if Big E surprises everybody, and last night at the Hall of Fame they were back together again. Of course, it was a non-contact thing. But if he ended up showing up and being a mystery thing, and then there was talk of removing Waller and Theory and having another tag team go in their spot. So I don't know if they work out an angle that leading up to it or something. So we'll have to see there.
I mean, momentum is going for typically. Well, Judgment Day has their moment, right? They're the defending champs. R-Truth and the Miz are doing well.
If they want to remove the titles, this is the time to do it in the ladder match because you don't have to beat them.
Yeah. I mean, because then after that, like you said, the New Day, you don't see that much. Austin Theory and Grayson Waller, they've been working together here and there, but the only reason I maybe see them winning it, and that's why it was a kind of like for my pick, is because of the fact that if they want to split the belts, they're on Raw, they're on SmackDown, so they'll be able to hold it down there.
The SmackDown team is New Catch Republic, which you don't like, so.
Yeah, exactly. And then on top of that, Logan Paul. They've been working with Logan Paul, and what happens if Logan Paul retains his belt? Then you could have them kind of form like some type of little faction between them three, and then say, "Hey, we hold all the belts and stuff like that." So that's
let's see though too, because also the one thing like if you look at this WrestleMania compared to others, where do the special surprises come at? And again, this is Triple H's first time completely in control of WrestleMania. Will there be those surprises? That's another thing that's interesting to say, because you always expect at WrestleMania something to happen. Remember, it was I can't remember exactly. I think it was like 7 years ago. They did a tag team ladder match, but it was 4 teams. There were 3 teams announced. One team was the New Day were the hosts of WrestleMania. They came out dressed. Everybody was almost dead set that, they're going to put themselves in the match. And they introduced Matt and Jeff Hardy, who went into the match and won.
It was in Orlando.
Yeah. Yep. So it's one of those things to where, again, there's no set areas to where you look at it and go, where's the surprises this year? So at what point do they make them? Or it's just going to be, because I've heard Jason Kelsey's going to be involved in somewhere, again, does he do a Gronk type thing or anything else? And then also, they're doing the 2-hour build-up. Are there going to be any matches at all? I don't know. There's been nothing announced, so probably not. But
isn't CM Punk on the group?
It's Cole, McAfee, Punk, Barrett, Caleb Braxton, and one more who I can't think of right now.
Yeah, I think
it's
if you have CM Punk on that board, like of them commentating, there's no reason for matches. He'll entertain us for 2 hours. We should be good.
This guy.
All right, tonight, night one, real quick. The match you're looking forward to, and the match you're kind of going, see how it goes.
You want me to start? You want me to start? I'll start.
Yeah. Because everybody else's face went like, oh God, I don't know what's in this stuff.
All right, look, guys. I mean, it's obvious. There's a reason why I have it posted on my screen. It's of course the main event: Roman and The Rock against Cody and Seth. Why? Because there's another story that is gonna lead up to it for tomorrow, right? We don't know what's gonna happen, so. That's the fight I want to watch. I want to see how The Rock does, because The Rock hasn't been wrestling. I want to see
like podcast.
Huh?
You didn't hear what he said on the podcast?
What did he say on the podcast?
He's been training with the NXT team, the Galaxy.
Oh yeah, no.
And his Rock, to me, I want to slap him in the back of his bald head. Bah! He goes, well, me, Seth, Cody, and Roman have already rehearsed the match a couple times. We're going to rehearse it again on Thursday.
Giving too much information.
Come on, Rock.
You can't do that,
Papa
Rock.
Tui, baby. Papa Tui.
That's the movie Rock, you know? Like
Yeah, damn you.
doing movies. But no, of course, that's the match. I want them to stand in the ring, you know. Cody looking at Roman face to face, and then you have The Rock and Seth Rollins, all four of them lined up looking face to face. That's a memorable moment right there. You know, it just makes sense that this is the fight everybody wants to see and everybody wants to know what happens. You have so much different angles here. Roman, the final boss, the Cody Crybaby, Seth Rollins, what's gonna happen for them for tomorrow night. So it's like this is the main event. Like I gotta acknowledge that match, and that's the reason. That's a match I'm looking for.
Trapio?
I'm gonna cheat a little bit, but I'm looking forward to two matches: the Sami Zayn and Gunther, and then obviously the main event. The match that I'm least, I feel like it's probably the Rhea and the Becky Lynch. I think that's gonna be a quick match. I think Rhea's gonna continue showing her dominance, and that's gonna be one of those matches where I'm like, I know where this direction is going. But for sure, that Sami and the Roman, those two matches are my two key matches I'm looking forward the most.
Chadster, you're up.
I agree. The least one that I'm looking forward to is probably Rhea and Becky Lynch, because I feel like same thing. Rhea's going to go in there, do what she does. We know how that's going to go. The one that I'm most excited for, I'm going to go a little different. I'm going to say it's Jay and Jimmy Uso. I really think those two are going to try to go down, and I think for them, this is one of those nights that they're going to try to go like, yo, let's be the one to steal the show. And you know, both those guys work well in the ring together. You know, they have that chemistry as brothers. I feel like that's the one I'm most excited for, because they both have nothing to lose, so to speak, in any of this, right? Like what, right? It's just to go on and put on a great match. So 100%. I think that's the one I'm most excited for.
Yeah, I'm excited for both Bloodline matches, just for the fact that, you know, as I just said, there's been no real set areas for guest appearances, but I feel like those two have set up things to happen. You know, for instance, during Wallamania, there was Zilla Fatu was there with Shelton Benjamin, and he was telling stories about 6-year-old, you know, Zilla in the back in the locker room with his dad Umaga and things like that. He's there. Last night, it was so odd to me, and again, when I looked at the Hall of Fame, I was like, all right, you've got Cody in the front row. You got Cody, Brandy, Triple H, Stephanie, and then on the other side of the ring, you've got the whole Samoan dynasty. It's Rikishi, it's Afa, it's Haku, it's, you know, all of these the Samoan dynasties over there. And I'm like looking at them going, what is going to happen? Like, that's the intrigue to me, is like, do they play into it? And then again, like most WWE fans do, and I'm working myself into it to where, like, if they don't get involved, I think I'm going to be upset. You know what I'm saying? Like, they've at no point said anybody's getting involved or anything else, but I've worked myself into it, whereas I'm like, something's got to happen.
Yeah. And
if it doesn't happen, I think I'm going to feel disappointed. And that, to me, is what makes, even with the Jay and Jimmy Uso match, in all the Bloodline matches, I just feel like there's just so much that could happen in there with any of that, and it just, the intrigue to these matches. And as I said when we first started, is when you look at all these matches, I think other than the Jade Cargill one, you can look at every match and go, they can win. Mm-hmm. And I can also see how they could flip it and have the other team win, or the other person win. And that, to me, is what I think sets this WrestleMania apart. Because to me, it used to be like, you kind of knew how the blow-off was going to end, and you knew, okay, Roman's going in to take care of Brock, and he's going to finally win his title. I don't know that Cody finishes his story. I know everybody talks about it, and everybody's thinking it's going to happen, and everybody says they're going to quit watching WWE if it doesn't happen.
Oh, my God.
But at the same time, it's like, you're full of shit, because as soon as it happens, you're going to be like, well, what the hell happens next?
It's because MJF has to be part of the story. It doesn't work
Well,
without
that's the
him.
other
I'm
thing.
telling
It's
you,
like,
man.
it's like you
Dude,
see all
come
these
on.
things.
Like, I
And
feel
the
like this would be the
MJF
guy.
stuff surfaced because he commented on The Rock commenting on his ex-girlfriend's painting.
He did
MJF
comment.
came out of nowhere. Hasn't been on social media in forever. His ex-girlfriend did a beautiful painting of Rock and Cody bloodied at the bus. Rock, of course, comments on it. And then MJF's like, look, you stole my idea of whooping Cody. Now you're trying to steal my ex-girl? And he said, Rock, I'm a fan. You know, it's just but then you see that. You see them talking about Dustin coming in and he likes the post. Again, they blurred the line so good on all of this stuff. On the Rock side, on Cody's side, you've had Brandy getting into it, talking about this stuff. You've had so many things transpire just this week, too, with all the stuff going on with everybody talking good and bad about AEW, everybody getting involved in everything else. You have everybody in Philadelphia. They did Ring of Honor last night. Mark Briscoe, congratulations. I think it's 11 years to the date that your brother won the title. He's the new Ring of Honor champion, beating Eddie Kingston last night. It's been so much wrestling. The Bloodsport happened. Shayna Baszler was there. The whole Raw women's locker room was there cheering her on. Like, this is what WrestleMania week's about. You have
Collision at 11:30.
Collision at 11:30. You never know what's going to happen, man.
Collision at 11:30.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Yo, I'm sorry, bro, but
Right
you
after,
gotta set the-
At 11:30.
right after the WrestleMania press conference, you can go straight to TNT and watch.
Yo, that's so-
No, and you know what? You guys gotta give AEW a lot of credit as well. I mean, for them allowing MJF to be a free agent and not talk about it, it's part of the plan. And then on top of that, going ahead and allowing Dustin to go and talk so much crap on Twitter or on X, you know, that's all of Tony Khan.
Yeah, but what
just
I don't
thinking
understand
outside
is
the
this.
box, right?
How come
Yeah,
CM Punk shows up and he's a traitor? He betrayed everybody.
I'll say
Dustin's
this.
there in the locker room tweeting on the Rock stuff and everything else, and it's like,
You're thinking outside the box with Collision at 11:30. Okay, Frank.
Exactly.
I'll say
Collision's at 11:30
that's-
tonight because of the basketball tournament.
Bro,
Is
that's
it because of the
crazy.
basketball tournament? I mean, I would have thought
Yeah.
that. I don't think even if they had the basketball tournament, they were gonna go. They would not have gone 1-on-1 against WrestleMania. I mean, their numbers.
Nah,
are
Tony-
plummeted.
Nobody's watching anyways, man.
Nah,
Nobody's watching
Yeah, bro.
Collision.
Yeah, nobody.
At
I mean, I'm watching
11:30.
at 11:30. I have to
I mean,
I'm
I'll watch it, but I mean, nobody else is like going.
the
like,
West
hey,
Coast can watch it. The West Coast is gonna have a good time slot for it.
Everybody in the
Yo,
chat, are
that's
you watching
crazy.
Collision after Smash?
Yo,
After
that is
WrestleMania
crazy. I'm
tonight?
sorry.
You're gonna go watch. You're gonna go from watching the Bloodline, Cody and Seth to what?
To Penta and
Medio.
Zero Miel.
Against
Come
Commander.
on, bro.
Against Commander,
It's
baby.
Commander, baby.
Yes,
He's
sir.
Adam Copeland out there talking all the talk. I love wrestling.
After
Everything about wrestling. No, but
After-
I did like the speech because he didn't make it AEW versus WWE, by the way. And I was going to talk more about that later, but I was happy that I didn't understand why they did it, but at least he made it about wrestling and not about AEW versus WWE. But go ahead.
after a Super Bowl of wrestling, we get Collision, baby.
The UFL kicks off right after.
Yep. It's like
Right
the
after the Super
XFL.
Bowl.
UFL.
That's like that's a perfect example. You got the NFL games, and then the UFL comes right after.
Yeah.
I don't know the NFL games, but it's the Super Bowl. And then they're going to start the
Yeah.
UFL. The whistle goes off. They cut off the building lights and they cut the stadium lights on UFL and go.
Yeah, I mean,
Also,
Alright.
honorable mention. I want to see how CM Punk does in WrestleMania. I think we're not really focusing on what CM Punk may be a big factor, you know. So we'll see.
That's gonna be tomorrow night. Are you guys gonna be able to join us tomorrow night? The Travel Chad, put you on the spot. You can say no. I mean,
yeah.
of course you can.
I'll talk it out with the wife. She knows I'm excited for WrestleMania weekend. And earlier I was like, babe, I was asked to talk some wrestling, so I gotta make it happen.
We're showing us the Survivor Series things again. This guy gave CM Punk some money, and now he's.
But
I mean-
you know what, Sean? To your point, I do think Triple H, like, he knows, like, the tradition of WrestleMania, right? Like, and we all think he's done a great job up until this point. I don't think he drops the ball. I do think we're gonna have some surprise. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's gonna pull it off. I believe in.
Yeah, but my thing is, I think he goes against to where, like, he wants to leave, just like he did with the Hall of Fame. Like Paul Heyman's not getting in if it's Vince. Rock's grandmother's not getting in if it's Vince. Bull Nakano's probably not getting in if it's Vince. Like, he's put his imprint on all this. What will his imprint be on WrestleManias? Because remember, last WrestleMania was the one where Vince Strong held everybody. The SmackDown leading into WrestleMania, that's when he came back. He forced his way back for the sale. You know what I'm saying? So it's like now you have all this going on. Does he try to say, let's go a whole different, because all this buildup, honestly, it doesn't happen if Vince is there.
No, yeah, I mean,
so all of it is new, but how far does he go to, like, I don't want to say trick the fans, because it's not tricking the fans, but to make you believe they're going to zig and they zag. Like,
catching them off guard.
There's going to be that big move to where it's like, like, for instance, Daniel Bryan against Sheamus at the WrestleMania here. Daniel Bryan comes out, does the whole thing, goes one across the ring, bro kick, 1, 2, 3. The match is over in like 10 seconds.
Yeah, I remember that.
And you're like, the hell just happened? Like, does anything like that happen? Like, where it's like, oh, I didn't think of that, but damn, that was good.
I mean, the only thing I see surprise that could happen in tonight's WrestleMania is maybe some double crossing. So, like, for example, you'll see either a Rock double cross somebody, or maybe Seth double crosses Cody, or Andrade double crossing somebody else. Stuff like that, like a double cross. I don't feel like this WrestleMania is gonna have like secret people come in, or people we've never seen before. I don't think this one's gonna have that, at least for day one.
The Bloodline match could have that. That's the only thing I say. But then here's the other thing. What happens in the Bloodline match is the finish is Roman goes to spear Cody. Cody moves out of the way. He nails the Rock. The Rock gets pinned. And now Rock's like, was that on purpose or not? And now you've made questions for going into tomorrow whether Rock and Roman can get together. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's those instances where, and like you said, Seth can turn on Cody the same way. And then it's like, well, now where does that leave Cody? Because he's got no friends.
And not only in that match,
rules, and nobody's got his back. You know what I'm saying? Like, there can be so many different ways they can go against this, depending on.
Then MJF runs in and saves Cody. No,
I would love to see him. I would love to see him. I would love to see MJF.
MJF and Dustin, but they're dressed up as the Conquistadors. The Conquistadors help Dustin Rhodes, and then in the back they take off the mask, and you find out it's MJF and Dustin as they get in the limo driven by Tony Khan.
Maybe Paul Heyman double crosses
that's what I'm saying. Like, is there going to be that moment where it's like, oh damn, okay? I just feel like you're going to get that because it's his first WrestleMania. I feel like he's going to put that, because everything you've watched happen so far, there's been that imprint of like, oh, Vince is gone. This is going to be the first WrestleMania where it's going to be like, damn, that would happen if Vince is here.
I don't think we would have
turned Cody heel with Heyman.
Nah,
I don't know if that's a big swing. Like, that's a big swing.
Yeah,
I mean,
Cody. And remember, Cody, we were pushing Cody to
I'm not
be
saying
a
I'm
heel.
against the idea. I just don't know that they do that like that big of a swing, because then now you put Heyman with, now you've got Roman in flux, you've got the Bloodline in flux, you still got Rock there as a heel. You almost create, like, using their thing. They were in the third inning before. Now you're going to extra innings because now you've made up a whole nother flock of stories.
The idea of making Cody possibly a heel is not a bad idea if he teams up with Paul Heyman. But remember, Cody was so hesitant to become a heel at AEW that I just don't see him doing that in the WWE world, especially since the whole baby face right now, the crybabies and all, they're so invested. It would be a complete.
Plus that merchandise money. Oh my God.
Now the one that I do feel,
Cena, that's why he never went heel.
And another thing, talking about the Paul Heyman, the Hall of Fame. I don't think if Vince was around, I don't think we would have seen Rob Van Dam either, because Rob Van Dam's been going to AEW a couple times. So
Yeah, I
we
don't.
know
I
how
don't think
Vince.
you see a lot of that. I don't think you see.
I don't think you see Rob Van Dam. I don't think you see Tommy Dreamer.
I
You
don't
don't
think
see Bully Ray. You don't see any
honestly,
of
I
those
don't think you
guys.
see Paul Heyman in the Hall of Fame.
Like exactly.
I,
And you
I don't
don't.
think you see any of that class.
You don't even see him talking as much as he did about ECW.
And he definitely
Absolutely.
is.
And I thought that was badass.
What happened in 2001? Because that ain't happening. I'll tell you that right now.
That's the new
best
life.
gift I got right now.
You know what?
I put that already. So every time somebody gets on me on X, Paul Heyman's talking to him.
I love the fact that WWE has like made this complete different like attitude once Vince left. Like they're more accepting, which I think it's cool. I like the fact that they're more accepting of like the history of wrestling, whether it happened in WWE or not. When somebody deserves to be in the Hall of Fame, they need to be on there. Paul Heyman, bro, that guy's a beast, bro.
With Triple H, he sees wrestling as a whole. Vince saw himself as the creator of wrestling.
Yeah.
And that goes with everything, because the NWO wasn't created by Vince. Vince made sure to bring it to the WWE. Why? So he could kill it. The Hurt Business with MVP, Bobby Lashley, Cedric Shelton wasn't his idea. He made sure to kill. If it's not Vince's idea, it doesn't exist.
I mean, Stephanie McMahon was wearing an ECW hat, bro. Look at that. That's badass. That you would never, Vince would never allow Stephanie to do that.
All right, final comments. We got actually the show's about to kick off right now on Peacock, the pregame show. The Trapio, start with you. Comments, let them know where they can talk to you and everything else.
You can follow me at That Way Nick on X. You can also follow me on Twitch. I like to play some EAFC sometimes on the Trapio with 3 O's. Or you can catch us at Let Me Talk to You podcast with my brother.
Chad, that guy over there.
Yeah, I only got Twitter, but you can find me at Twitter at Chad at 90MFC. And you can catch me in the Big O chat and the Let Me Talk to You chat and the Squared Circle Digest chat. I'm one of y'all that's in the chat, just happy to be hanging out, talking some wrestling. So thank you guys, and I'm excited to watch some WrestleMania.
Mr. Fresco.
First and foremost, I appreciate everybody who has acknowledged me today. It's a very, very fun to go ahead and be right on all of my picks today. So I know I'm gonna be right about everything I said today. Because of course I am. Just call me the next tribal chief. But and all jokes aside, you guys can follow me at Fresco Music Tuesdays. Squared Circle with Sean. Wednesdays, Let Me Talk to You with my brother, DiTrapio. He's somewhere down there. And then obviously you guys can also see me as well on the chat boards, on everybody's chat boards, Big O, on all the other NFL and football, Miami Dolphins related content. And don't forget to follow me. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. Also, don't forget to share. We need more people to share. We have a panel of 4 of us today, which was a little bit different. So please make sure you share. That way we could increase our algorithms as well.
It is, and we want to thank Cap for Life, of course. Who got Mimo also, and my dad in there, Terry. We got us, Freddie Fresco. Thank you for being in the chat, even though it wasn't you, it was me talking for you. They did acknowledge you though as well. So everybody watching on X, we appreciate you. WrestleMania, the kickoff show is moments away. 7:00, it gets underway. You can follow me at Sean_Stanley11. You can follow me on my YouTube channel, Stanley Media House. Please hit the subscribe. And, of course, follow Frankie and the Let Me Talk to You podcast as well. What else? Anything else to say, guys?
Yeah. Well, since all of us are watching WrestleMania,
Yep.
what are we going to eat? Like, what is our go-to food during WrestleMania? We'll start with you, DiTrapio. What are you going to eat during WrestleMania?
Oh, chicken wings, bro. Chicken wings, bro.
That's a good one. Chad?
Well, I got whatever I got in the house, man. It's definitely probably gonna be chicken tenders, with the kids. Probably some mac and cheese, a little comfort food tonight, and then tomorrow probably set it up with pizza and wings.
Sean, what you got?
All right, I got a 6-foot sub I'm about to go pick up. I've got wings, and I've got ribs on the grill right now. Also,
I thought you were trying to lose some weight.
That's all protein. All
That's
protein.
protein, baby.
Yeah.
That's protein. No carbs.
Look, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm in the moment right now, and I don't know. I think I'm gonna go buy a pizza, bro. It's just I don't know. I just feel like it's like if this is an NFL game, I just get that vibe as well. Don't get me wrong. The chicken wings don't sound really, really good, and the ribs too.
You go
Maybe
pizza and wings and a Coke. Both. You can never go wrong with Flanagan's. I mean,
damn, maybe I go to Flanagan's right now, or get something from Flanagan's, get it delivered.
You're gonna end up at Pollo. I can see it already.
You end up at Pollo.
Well, if you guys don't know me, I am a big, huge Pollo Tropical person. I eat Pollo Tropical almost every day. I'm not gonna lie.
Every time I talk to him before we go live, he's like, "God, I just pulling the screen back here." He's like, "Just got back from Pollo. I was gonna make it on time."
Every time, bro. Every time.
Like,
And my go-to there is
your house, man.
The chicken soup. The chicken soup is what I always order.
Is it
If I don't,
there?
yeah, it's pricey.
You had chicken soup there, and then
I always order.
I get it from Latin America now. I get the chicken soup from Latin America.
That's the move to go.
Yeah. Oh, see, look at Cap. Garlic cilantro. Oh, yes, sir. Yeah. Yes. Good.
Sean, I just want to thank you. I want to thank everyone in this chat for having me today, man. It was awesome.
Please, thank you guys, man. Without you guys, there's no us guys. So all of you. And then there's one other. Oh, go ahead, Frankie. I'm sorry. I don't want to.
I also want to say, man, it's like I said this a couple of shows ago, but thank you guys as well, because this completes a year for me with you guys. Last WrestleMania we did this trios. This time
that's why I felt like I was like, when Sean sent me a link, I'm like, damn, I have to go. I was on last year, so
yeah, no, it's so cool.
You can expect me on every WrestleMania. You know?
Yeah, no, tomorrow we have the same panel if you can. I know it's tough, so if you can't, it's open. So the invite is there. Anybody else that's listening, if you want to try to get on with us, please follow me at Sean_Stanley11 IGX. Hit me up a DM. I have no problem sliding you a link and having you guys come on and talk some WrestleMania, because this is what we do. And Frankie Fresco, there's somebody else that wants to acknowledge you.